The King of Rats. Oh yeah, it gives me creeps all the time. When I was in a camp, it turned out the way that I was a camp leader's assistant, so I did her work often. I was used to being busy. Besides being bossy, it was fun. It was troublesome, of course, but you earned a lot of respect from the others that way. Among the others, only Vera dared to challenge me. I'm better in a fair fight anyway. We already tried it out. Should I remind you? I just wasn't prepared enough back then. Hadn't exercised the muscles and stuff. Ah, okay, you are stronger. That's it. Back then, some chatterbox told me that Vera is afraid of the dark. I am not afraid. Maybe you should tell us yourself. Easy peasy. Sasha came to me one night and said, "This troop isn't big enough for the both of us. Let's make a bet. The loser gets transferred." So I accepted. If only I had known what her plan was, I would have accepted anyway. In short, we had to go to the catacombs at midnight. The one of us who left first was the loser. A deal is a deal, as they say, so we set off at night, and the weather, almost as if on purpose, was cloudy, windy, and it was about to start raining. Besides, the flashlight barely worked. It felt like someone was watching us. We made it to the abandoned military base. We went down to the basements. Sasha was going ahead of me. We entered some room when Sasha turned off the flashlight and said, "Vera dear, let's save the battery for the way back." But I was creeped out. I said, "Let's get over the bet and have a pull-up contest." I saw her smiling the way she does. "What's wrong, Vera?" she said snidely. "Afraid of the dark, huh?" I freaked out and turned the light off and regretted it instantly. Because I felt someone watching me, and the way they did was not nice at all. I was all sweaty as I turned the light on, swinging the flashlight around. And Sasha was like, "So soon? Less than a minute?" I yelled at her and stormed to the outside, but the rain had just started. I wasn't going back to the camp, so I made my choice to stay before it was over. And that was the right thing to do, because... I go now. Yeah, go on. After she left, I turned on the flashlight and I was about to leave. Realized that I couldn't stand up. It seemed like my legs went numb, so I put the flashlight on a nearby box and started rubbing my hips, trying to bring them back to life. It was useless. The thought of calling for Vera came to my mind since she couldn't get very far away, and the echo was strong enough in the corridors. But I had just won the bet, so calling for her help would be equal forfeiting. So I kept on rubbing my legs. Fortunately, I felt my hands losing control. The way they were wiggling down my legs, paralyzed as soon as I leaned on the seat. The only thing I was able to do was turn my head. What's up with me, I thought. Am I being paralyzed? Why? I haven't neither fallen nor hit my head or taken drugs. Why can't I move? I was about to piss my pants. Calm down, Alexandra. Calm down. They'll find you missing next morning, and Vera knows where you are. They'll find you by lunch, at least. Maybe my senses will be back by that time. Breathe. I was sitting and breathing and looking at the dim spot of light on a wall when they appeared. I heard the stomping of little feet at first. The beasts stayed in the shadow, but they got bolder and I could see their little red eyes. Who were they? Rats. My flashlight was almost dead, so I could only see their shapes in the darkness. Then, I hadn't felt it, but I saw one of the creatures get up on my knees. The great creature sat on its back feet and looked me in the eyes. "Help!" I whispered, trying to believe it was just a bad dream. But it didn't work, as usual. Help! I yelled at the top of my lungs this time. The horrible beast hid away from my voice. All of them, but the one sitting on my knees. It kept on sitting on its back paws, posing its front ones like in a prayer, and looking at my face. It seemed like the rat was smirking. Help! I yelled again, realizing deep in my heart that no one was going to come. Oh, I wish we were out of here. The stupid bet, the foolish leadership. What use is any of that if you're going to get eaten alive? I broke into tears of helplessness. That was totally out of my plans. The rat looked away all of a sudden, like it was trying to listen to something. Then it jumped off, and the air trembled with Rat's footsteps. The horrible things in a single burst ran away from the room, drowned in silence, breaking with my sobs and some water drops. Was I saved then? Did my scream scare them, or had someone heard it and come to my rescue? I burst into laughter with relief. I was sitting and giggling like an idiot because I was alive. But the fun was broken with some kind of weird noise coming from the corridor. The noise of hundreds of small feet and squeaking rats were closing in slowly. My rescue had not come yet. No, I shouted. No, get lost! But the rats did not listen. The light of my dying flashlight showed me the room filling with a swarm of the gray beings. There was something big in the middle of it. The creature got into the beam of light, and I heard... The Rat King! An ugly beast made of 6 or 7 rats was sitting up on the backs of his comrades, moving its paws and muzzle. The beings brought him upon my knees and scattered all over the room. I didn't see them, but I knew they were there, around me, watching their king like in a theater. I was screaming as hard as I could, trying to scare the monster, but it didn't care much. It was heading to my stomach, slowly and clumsily climbing up my skirt, leaving a trace of pus and urine on it. At the time, I was awkwardly glad that my body was numb from the neck down. The Rat King made it to his destination, and I heard my shirt ripping as he bit me through it. I had given up calling for help at the moment, only howling in helplessness and fear. Soon the monster would settle his hunger, and the rest of the swarm would finish the job. As a flashlight blinded me, and in a moment I heard a familiar voice shouting, "Get off! Away with you!" I heard the ripping of fabric followed by a thud as the monster was slapped into the concrete wall by a childish hand. It was Nastya storming around the room, kicking the rats and hitting them with a flashlight as if it were a club. I don't know how it didn't fall apart. The rats formed away, carrying their defeated king, while Nastya hugged my neck, close to knocking me out, and crying, "Sasha, dearest, don't you pass out, please." I'm fine, I stressed her off. "Can't move, though. Way to go, Nastya. You saved my life. You are a true hero." No words can be explained how happy I was, but a terrible thought came into my mind. Nastya's legs will soon, just like mine, fail, and the rats will get both of us. And so I commanded, "Nastya, you've got to get out of here. Now, run to the camp and bring the first leader you meet here. Got it?" Nastya nodded and rushed out, leaving me alone in the darkness. I wondered if my sanity could take it, and as her footsteps faded away, odd rustles caught my ear. Maybe it was just my imagination playing a bad trick on me, but it felt like the rats were surrounding me again. Fortunately, Nastya wasn't about to go far away. Let me tell this part, it's my favorite. When the rain stopped, I got to the outside and saw Nastya running somewhere. I caught up to her and we headed back to Sasha. Man, you should have seen yourself. But yeah, good thing you didn't. A talking dead in the flesh. And then our princess got back to life after we brought her outside. When her limbs started moving, she freaked out with joy. Boy, I'd never heard of that much swearing. The pain was unbearable as my sensitivity restored. My whole body ached as if it was pierced by thousands of needles. My stomach was burning. Yeah, Nastya was dogging around Sasha like, Sasha, are you alright? Sasha, don't give up. Sasha, does it hurt? I shook her shoulders hard and sent her back to the camp for help. Nastya made a couple of steps and returned like, I won't leave her. Thanks to our beauty, we could settle her down. So we took off Sasha's clothes. All of it? Ouch! I'll do the same to you if you don't shut up. I'm good, I'm good. And off to the lake. There we used her shirt as bandages in order to wrap her wounds. After we cleaned Sasha from... Put the details away, please. Alrighty, it's almost over anyway. Yeah, well, we made it back to the camp where we slipped in our couches as if nothing had happened. No adult knew about this, of course. Even Nastya kept her mouth shut. She was way awesome. Pet sleeping Nastya. Was it for real? It was. Want to see the scars? I do. Sasha pulls up her shirt. Dang, it's too dark in here. Can't see a thing. Neither can I. Lift your shirt up above your head. That'll help us. They are too small to see. Try to touch them instead. Watch your hand, you four-eyed freak. I just wanted to touch. You can touch Pertov next time you see him in a sauna. Keep your hands off her. Okay. Hey, it's 5 till midnight. Time to call the Queen of Spades. Achievement unlocked. Red King destroyed. Rat King destroyed. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm going to do the next one too.